It began with an airship, a cup of coffee, and a very stylish pilot. Here's how that moment changed watches forever. And stick around to the end, because I'll share 3 modern pilots' watches you can buy today, from affordable to high-horology, each carrying a piece of this remarkable story. The story of the pilot's watch begins not in a cockpit, but in a Paris cafe. In 1904, the flamboyant Brazilian aviator Alberto Santos Dumont asked his friend Louis Cartier for a watch he could use while flying. Pocket watches were useless in the air, so Cartier created the Santos, the very first purpose-built pilot's wristwatch. Now, Santos Dumont was quite the character. He'd often land his airship outside Paris restaurants, tie it up like a horse, and stroll inside for lunch, still dressed in his suit and Panama hat. It's said he once ordered coffee with his airship parked right outside. The man who inspired the pilot's watch also pioneered valet parking for airships. As aviation advanced, watches had to evolve too. In 1927, Charles Lindbergh flew the Spirit of St. Louis on the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight. Navigation was everything. Pilots had to calculate their position using maps, stopwatches, and the stars. After his flight, Lindbergh realized there had to be a better way. He teamed up with Longines to design the hour angle. Watch, a revolutionary tool that helped pilots determine longitude by measuring the hour angle of the sun or stars. Part wristwatch, part navigation. Instrument, it brought celestial navigation to the wrist. But aviation wasn't just a man's story. In 1930, Amy Johnson became the first woman to fly solo, all the way from England to Australia. She carried a Longines timepiece across thousands of miles of uncertain skies. And she didn't fly alone. Johnson kept a tiny silk toy elephant named Jiminy in her cockpit for luck. So alongside her precise watch, she had a little co-pilot, proof that even the boldest pioneers brought a touch of whimsy with them. By the late 1930s, flight had become central to global conflict. When World War II began, accurate timekeeping wasn't just useful, it was vital. Pilots' watches became essential tools for navigation and mission timing. Navigators aboard bombers used their watches together with sextants, compasses, and radio bearings to chart their position across oceans and hostile skies. In an era before GPS or radar, precision, timekeeping was literally a matter of life and death. And this led to one of the most distinctive design choices. In all of watchmaking, the minute hand became longer, larger, and more prominent than the hour hand. That wasn't a stylistic flourish, it was pure function. At 200 miles an hour, a 1-minute error could throw you miles off course. So designers emphasized what mattered most. A perfect example of form following function, a core principle of good design. Britain's Royal Air Force issued the Mark 11, built by IWC and Jaeger-LeCoultre, simple, legible, and anti-magnetic. Germany's Luftwaffe used the enormous B-Uhr watches, 55 millimeters across, with oversized crowns that could be operated while wearing gloves. And in the United States, brands like Hamilton, Elgin, and Waltham produced the rugged A11, often called the watch that won the war. Through these years of conflict, the DNA of the pilot's watch was forged. Large dials, luminous hands, hacking seconds for synchronization. Every element driven by clarity, precision, and reliability. After the war, those same features found their way onto civilian wrists. The pilot's watch had become more than a tool. It was a symbol of freedom, precision, and adventure. And that legacy continues today. If you'd like to wear a piece of that heritage, here are 3 modern pilot's watches, each from a different tier, but all true to their roots. First, for an affordable option under £1,000, there's the Hamilton Khaki Pilot Pioneer Mechanical. Inspired by Hamilton's own World War II field watches, it captures everything that made early pilots' watches great: bold Arabic numerals, luminous hands, and simple, purposeful design. It's hand-wound, rugged, and built in the same spirit as the watches worn by Allied airmen, the perfect bridge between heritage and modern wearability. Next, in the mid-range, is the Longines Spirit Collection. It blends vintage charm with modern precision, crisp Arabic numerals, strong loom, and a chronometer-certified movement. It's a watch that channels both Lindbergh's ingenuity and Amy Johnson's daring spirit heritage. You can wear every day. And finally, at the high-horology level, there's the IWC Big Pilot's Watch. Born from the massive World War II BUR instruments, it keeps that same bold crown and clear black dial, but pairs them with a beautifully engineered in-house movement boasting days of power reserve. It's equal parts machine and masterpiece. From a Paris cafe to the cockpits of warplanes, from silk mascots to celestial navigation, the pilot's watch tells a story of ingenuity and adventure. Its form was shaped entirely by its function, yet that very functionality became timeless style. So when you strap on a pilot's watch, you're not just checking the time. You're wearing a story of sky, precision, and courage, a century of human flight, captured in steel, glass, and ticking gears. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of that spirit of adventure still lives inside every one of them. Thanks for flying along. If you enjoyed the trip, hit subscribe and tell me, which pilot's watch would you take to the skies?